Yo, what is up, you guys? It's the Michael Myers back again with a brand new live stream. A little late night live stream. I mean, it's not too late right now. It's only about to be 9 p.m. But yeah, man. Just chilling at the house. Hope you guys are doing pretty good. Happy Friday to all of you guys. Let me know what you guys are up to today. What you guys been up to today. What are you guys up to tonight? But yeah, man, decided to do a little fun live stream. You know, it's nighttime already. Was kind of bored at the house, man. So I decided to cover one of my videos I had planned for the October season, and that is Scream Queens, Final Girls. We're gonna be talking about them Scream Queens today. A little top 5 list. Quick second, guys. A little top 5 list. I'll be doing top 5s here and there. But yeah, man, decided, like I said, tonight's live stream, we're gonna dedicate it to the Final Girls. Gonna be talking about the Scream Queens, man. It was kind of challenging to put together. There's a lot of great Final Girls, man. Iconic. I try to base this little top 5 list just based on hopefully I don't get no copyright. Watching Scream 2 right now. Just finished the first Scream. And yeah, so I've been watching Scream 2. The idea came to mind, man. We all know Nev Campbell kicks ass. So I'm like, hey, let me do that video or that live that I've been trying to do, man. And that is the top 5 Final Girls. So like I said, it was kind of challenging because there's a lot of great ones. Of course, we got our popular ones. I also have some honorable mentions that didn't make the list, but I feel at least deserve a mention. But that's what we're gonna be doing tonight. But yeah, Mackie, what up, Mackie? What's up? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Well, Mackie, Sydney Prescott, she's not my favorite girl, but she's definitely iconic. I mean, you could say the face of the Scream Queens for sure. Yeah, and she's definitely up there. We're gonna get into it. Like I said, I also have a few honorable mentions. Like I said, I feel some of them at least deserve a mention. But number 5, man. Number 5 on my list. Shouldn't be no surprise. Shouldn't be no hard one, of course. But yeah, number 5 on my list is Sydney Prescott. Usually, like I said, she's one of the more popular ones. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, man. And, Nev Campbell's one of them that is still carrying on the torch when it comes to these movies. And, like I said, Sydney Prescott, iconic, man. Ever since, the original Scream, something about her, she wasn't, the ordinary, even before all the, Ghostface shit. It always seemed like she, you could say, always stood her ground and stuff like that. And of course, once the sequels went on, all the, shit she went through. I think in Scream 3 is when you kind of see, you could say, like an elevated Sydney. In Scream 2, yeah, kind of. She goes to college. She's in college where it takes place. And but by the time Scream 3, man, she's definitely, stepped up her game, man. And like I said in the original, she was only in high school. So yeah, you definitely get that in the first movie. You know, your ordinary high school chick, right? But you know, and ever since the first movie, man, her first attack, to be exact, you know, she definitely, you know, I would say stood her ground. You know, she held her own for sure. You know, because I definitely, you know, like from Sidney Prescott, we don't really get too much screaming, you know, and of course that's one of the, you know, ordinary things, you know, when it comes to the final girls. Screaming is a big factor here, man. But if you really think about it, man, Sidney never really was like a screamish type, especially compared to like Laurie Strode in the first two Halloweens, you know. So it just goes to show us, man. You know, even before the Ghostface shit, man. I feel she was always down for hers, and you know, you guys got to also remember, man. She had, you know, her mom died and everything. So yeah, man, Nev Campbell definitely played a one of the most iconic final girls of all time, and so that's what I love about Sydney. She's definitely on her shit. Um, yeah, for sure. She's definitely always been pretty. You know, Mackie, even till this day, man, it's like these our scream queens only get finer within the times, man. So like I said, as far as Scream 7 goes, she's definitely the main attraction, you know, that's gonna, you know, carry on uh the movie. And of course we're gonna get introduced to her daughter, her kids. I don't know if she has a few, but yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what they got in store for us for Sydney, you know, Sydney Prescott. And you know, at the same time, I kind of wanted to be. I wish 7, even though there might be Scream 8, and you know, stuff like that. But I really hope they they wrap it up with Nev Campbell. Like I said, she's badass. She kicks ass, right? Never really had taken no shit from no one since the first one. So they definitely gotta, you know. I just hope they don't, you know, go the Jamie Lee Curtis route, you know, which it might seem like it, you know. Now it might kind of seem like it, because I mean, other than them two being the most popular, iconic final girls, um, Scream Queens. I think they also, as legendary as they are, I think they also deserve a, you know, a good ending, a good, you know, not necessarily kill them, but a good just ending to their saga or to their story. But like I said, man, Nev Campbell, she kicks ass. She's just a fan favorite. Um, Stumacher, you know what, Mackie? It is what it is. I mean, it's pretty much confirmed. You know, that Stu is gonna be in this. You know, Matthew Lillard's, you know, been promoting it or whatever. You know, and like I said, it's cool as far as the whole legendary characters go about. You know, but I mean, from this at this point, it just seems the Scream series could be anything. You know, characters we thought were dead this whole time are coming back. Um, and like we've talked about in the other lives, man, bringing Stu Macher might have not been their original intent for Scream 7, but since they don't really got much to work with, you know, um, I think that was the only way they would be able to, you know, please the fans, or you know, have at least something worthy to keep going on with the, you know, next chapter or whatever. But uh, you know, I guess it's overdue. even though Stu Macher's been dead, I mean, ever since like Scream 5, the fans been wanting to see him return. And like I said, I've always figured he's gonna pop out of nowhere since Scream 5. So it has been quite predictable. But we're gonna have to see what happens, man. Not gonna try to put it too loud, copyright. But so yeah, number 5, Sydney Prescott. Usually she's on top of people's list, but she's my number 5 actually. All right. Next on the list, number 4. Another one that really shouldn't be no surprise, man. It's kind of dark, I know, but Nancy Thompson from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Um, I love Heather Langenkamp. I think she definitely, she's definitely a smart girl, you know, and you could tell from the first movie, you know, the whole booby traps and everything. Like, this girl had courage to, you know, go through all that shit, you know, of course, introduced to Freddy, and, you know, have the balls to bring Freddy to the real world and take care of him here. And, you know, like I said, the whole booby traps. So Nancy Thompson, I feel, has always been like another one that has, you know, stood her ground, not really give no shits, you know. Of course, she had gone through her stuff, right? You know, her friend Tina, which obviously big effect, right? But after that, it's not like she stood on business. You know, it's not like she gave up to Freddy, and you know, the whole ending to this, you know, with Nancy kind of, you know, it's kind of a strange ending. You know, there's like different ways you could look at it, but of course, Nancy demonstrates she's not gonna, you know, gonna waste no energy or no fear for Freddy, because that's how pretty much Freddy lives on, you know, through fear. And, you know, she was, you know, hard enough to stand on that and, you know, not let it happen, you know. Protect her and her owns. Another good look at Nancy is Wes Craven's New Nightmare, man. And I know in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, um, she's playing the Heather Langenkamp character, but still, you know, even Heather Langenkamp has mentioned on record, um, you know, when she got the role, it wasn't really nothing in particular. You know, she felt with the Nancy character, she was always kind of playing herself, you know, especially in the first one. Uh, you know, I know a lot of people, you know, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, her return, which was great, man, because like I said, I know a lot of franchises are not as they're not as consistent, and they managed to bring her back, man, and it was a great way. I love the way she came back in part 3, and, you know, it was also a good way to kind of switch things up, because it was kind of, especially around this time, 80s, the final girl, you know, never really died, you know, so it was bold for them to kill off Nancy in this one, or not in this one, in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Um, but still, man, I think by them killing her character off, really, like I said, raised the stakes a bit, you know, because it was out of the ordinary. That really wasn't done as much at that time. So it was something different, you know, and like I said, as iconic and legendary as, you know, these final girls could be, they also need their wrap up, you know, their solid ending, either killed off or you know, just a goodbye story or whatever. But yeah, Nancy Thompson, I've always loved her. Heather Langenkamp, um, yeah, she's definitely one of the, other than of course Robert, always carried on, you know, these movies. And, you know, when it comes to Nancy, um, like I said, she was always like about her stuff. You know, she definitely you know, put her intelligence to use, and we see that a lot in the first one. But you know, she's definitely, you know, once we get to know her and stuff, she's more of like a, you know, of course you could say kind of schoolgirl or whatever, but at the same time, you know, she didn't feed into Freddie himself. So Nancy Thompson, she's the shit, man, for sure. Uh, maybe see her, maybe would like to see her come back. Um, somehow, some way, man. I'm not saying like the direct sequel route, um, even though that has been, you know, teased at us, direct sequel to Nightmare. You know, I think, you know, she said she was down with it, but you know, like I said, sometimes you just gotta leave things where they are instead of trying to stretch it too far. Um, I have green and black coveralls. Oh, that's awesome, Mackie. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Putting together a Myers cosplay. Pretty sick, man. Definitely should put it up on YouTube, some videos or something. But yeah, so now we're at number three. Number three on my list. My third favorite final girl, Kyle from Child's Play 2. Kyle's just a badass, man. I've loved her since, you know, I saw this, you know, and it was definitely, you know, enough said about Child's Play 2. It's a great sequel, you know, one of the best sequels out there, right? But I think Kyle, man, was another badass character, dude, who really didn't take no shit. You know, we're not too familiar with her story, but once we get introduced to her, um, you know, she's been through it. She's been through shit, and you know, she's just, you know, one of those, just doesn't give a shit, you know, and yeah, but that's always, you know, stood out to me from Kyle. You know, of course, you know, and she didn't really know Andy. You know, it could have been just some chick not giving a shit, right? And hey, you're the, you know, they adopted Andy, right? It's just another kid. She didn't really know him like that, but the fact that she, you know, she went through all that, you know, to save Andy and stuff, you know, through the factory, trying to keep him, you know, trying to get back to Andy, pretty much. And she just kicked ass, dude. I love Kyle, like I said. Kind of underrated, I will say. I know they also brought her back, you know. I think they brought her back for the Chucky show, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, I don't recall. I really don't recall at what point of the series, but I do recall that she returned with Andy, you know, and I got to rewatch their scene, but I remember being, you know, kind of exciting, you know, to uh see, you know, legacy characters like that return, especially Kyle, because of course we've seen grown up Andy in the previous films, but Kyle, we really never seen her since the second one, so she was definitely a fan favorite, you know, in the show. I'm not sure if they wasted her character, like, you know, they doing everything pretty much, you know, bring back a legacy character and don't do it any justice, just waste the opportunity. I really couldn't tell you, man. I stopped, you know, following the Chucky show, but I do remember when they had showed up, you know, they were armed and everything. I think like in suits. Uh, yeah, Kyle's a badass. Like I said, kind of underrated. You know, I know, like I said, there's other higher faces of the Scream Queens, right? But Kyle's definitely one I had to add on here. She's she's dope. All right, number two. We're at number two, and that is Ashley Lawrence's character. What's her name? Christy Cotton. I forget. Is it Christy or Kirsty? Ashley Lawrence's character. I know her, her character really didn't go in depth, like our other established final girls. Of course she was in the first two Hellraisers, and then she returned for like the fifth one. Returning one of the TV Hellraiser movies. But there's not really like depth into her character. Of course, in the first one, second one, highly present, but she's just there to she's just caught up in the middle of all the drama and stuff like that. With her father, and then Frank, and then Julia. So you could say the stakes weren't really aimed at Ashley Lawrence. Most of the shit that was going on in Hellraiser was Julia, Frank, and all that. And Ashley was just in the middle of it. And like I said, dude, it's funny because I really, something about her. I don't, like I said, it's not like we have depths of her character. She, it's not like she goes against like the Cenobites. It's a little different. So Hellraiser's a little different than your typical slasher, but I don't know, man. So I've always had like the biggest crush on Ashley Lawrence, man, and it's one of the main reasons why I love to watch Hellraiser, for sure. Because of Ashley Lawrence, and yeah, like I said, we have other popular final girls, but I've always loved Ashley Lawrence, since a kid, since I was introduced to these movies, for sure. And I really wish they could have done more with her. They definitely could have, if they had the franchise on track. Um, Dude, Hellbound Hellraiser, she looks even hotter, dude. But yeah, I've had like the biggest crush on her, man. You know, to me, she was like the hottest. She's like the hottest, from the final girls. You know what I mean? Uh, Christy. Yeah, it's Christy. Yeah, Christy. Christy Cotton. Uh, yeah, I love her. I love her in Hellraiser. Like I said, one of the main reasons I watch Hellraiser. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Mackie Ash Williams, of course, man. Iconic. Final boy. There's not a lot of final boys, uh, out there. But for sure, Ashley Williams, Bruce Campbell is the face of him without a doubt. But yeah, Christy Cotton. All right, and my favorite final girl. Oh, I'm glad I thought quick before we get into my favorite one. Um, I'm gonna give you guys some honorable mentions that I deserve to be mentioned. But quick second, let me just take a quick. And there's a lot of other girls that I definitely wanted to at least mention. For example, Scream. Sydney is the one, but of course Gail Weathers, she deserves a mention, right? I also really love Kirby from Scream 4. I loved her since Scream 4 came out. I'm glad they came back with her character, man. And I don't even know, is she gonna be in Scream 8 or Scream 7? Kirby? I'm pretty sure. I mean, her character was, heavily involved in what's it called, in in Scream 7. So I really hope they do bring back Kirby, man. So yeah, characters like that, I feel also deserve a mention. You know, Scream. We have Gail. We have Sydney, Kirby. I think Lisa Wilcox, Alice. She was pretty good too from A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Uh, all right, and honorable mentions, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. We all love Jamie Lee Curtis, iconic, pretty much the Scream Queen. You know, she started. She's the OG Scream Queen, but unfortunately, she did not make it to the 5 list. You know, we all love her. I love her, but I think I think these final girls we just went through are a little bit more, you know, badder than Jamie Lee Curtis. But of course, without a doubt, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis deserves to at least have an honorable mention. Uh, Rachel from Halloween 4. Um, Big Mistake by killing her off in 5. You could throw in Daniel Harrison here too. Uh, she's definitely been a fan favorite. Um, Another great final girl, man. Really attractive as well. What's her name? Her name was Helen, but what's the? I know her name. What's Virginia Madsen? Virginia Madsen, who plays Helen. Great final girl as well. And my last honorable mention. I really wish she would have returned for the sequel. I like the sequel to this. You know, actually rewatched them not too long ago, and I want to do a series review. But Jodie Foster's character, Silence of the Lambs, I loved her character in this. Um, she's also another cutie, man, and I know what's her name, who played her in Hannibal. Unfortunately, Jodie Foster did not reprise her role in Hannibal, uh, which was a bummer. You know, I think Hannibal would have been better if Jodie Foster was in there. Uh, but I loved her in the original Silence of the Lambs. You know, kind of like a detective kind of chick. You know. Uh, all right, and my number one favorite, guys. My number one favorite, Final Girl, underrated movie overall. You know, underrated Final Girl, but underrated movie overall. Um, and this is a chick, man, who really did not take no shit. You know, she was brutal to the bone. Didn't take no shit. Erin from Your Next. Yeah, man. She's right there in the back. It's kind of dark, but man, this was like some. It was a movie a little ahead of its time. I know. This movie surprised me a lot because, um, you know, Erin is a good example. I really wasn't expecting a badass final girl, you know, who literally took on 3 of these dudes, you know, and of course, you know, in the movie, she's like with the family right of her husband or whatever, and once you know shit started escalating, shit went down. She didn't give no shits about no one, you know. It was like survival of the fittest, you know. It was like a survival kind of thing, and she managed to, you know, managed to make it work. You know, I really would have loved to see a follow up. You know, you know, after this movie, I heard they were the filmmakers of Your Next were doing a sequel. We're planning to do a sequel where she gets caught up, you know, and she gets charged for you know for the murders, for the killings in this movie. She goes to prison, and I believe something the killer with the sheep mask, he like ends up following her to the prison, some shit like that. Uh, but I mean, the idea might kind of sound, eh, but I would have loved to see more of her, man, for sure. Because yeah, like I said, she kicked ass in this movie, you know. And I really wish they would. make him more like Eren here. Of course, we got our vulnerable, final girls and stuff like that. Like I said, some of them, all you kind of, you know, all you get from them is screaming. But Eren was a good one, man, for sure. I think even the actress herself, I don't really I don't think I've seen her on anything else, man. But I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm gonna have to look into that because it could be she's just a great actress and she just told the show, But yeah, some brutal shit here. Some brutal shit. You know, definitely had more balls than most of the guys in this movie. I love Your Next, underrated. But that was my top 5 final girls. Just a little quick live stream, man. Like I said, wanted to do this since Halloween month, man. And I was gonna do it like just a regular video, but since it's just a little top 5, I think a live stream would have done it, man. You know what, Mackie? I really hope she's retired from the Halloween movies, man. Because she's been saying that since forever. She's done with Halloween, but still manages to come back. So I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back. I know she's been retired from Halloween, but she might make a comeback. I see it coming from miles away. Of course, Mackie. Oh yes, yeah. Like I said, man, Christy. Yeah, Christy. She's the bomb. To keep it real, to me, she's like the most. All of these women are attractive. I love them all. They all get their flowers, but Ashley Lawrence, like I said, I don't know if it's just my taste or my kind of like if all the all of our great final girls were all in like a bunch, and that could go up to one. If I could choose one final girl, they're all together, and I could only choose one. I'll go to Ashley Lawrence. Really, I really would. Christy Cotton, but you guys know what I mean. But yeah, just a little fun video, man. Friday night. Appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys watched the after the what's it called, the replay or whatever. And stay tuned for more videos, guys. I got a lot of cool videos coming out. I will be doing the Michael Myers Monday on Monday. Probably a video, but we'll see what's up, man. But want to appreciate you guys tuning in. Mackie, shout out to you, man. Hope you have a great rest of your night, man. A great rest of your weekend. See you guys when I see you. It's the Michael Myers signing out.